creators in developing markets reach a smaller share of their followers compared to those in North America or Europe. Many report that their content performs better when they mask their location or use tools to appear as if they are based in Western countries. The platforms attribute these differences to user behavior, but the effect is to systematically disadvantage entire regions, making global discovery even less likely. The cultural impact of these changes is significant. Users are funneled into algorithmic bubbles, rarely encountering perspectives that differ from their own. Interests become narrower over time, and the opportunity for spontaneous discovery fades. What once enabled users to stumble across niche communities or unfamiliar ideas now pushes them toward more of the same, reinforcing habits rather than challenging them. For creators, the environment is unforgiving. They must choose between tailoring their output to algorithmic preferences or risking irrelevance. Many split their efforts, producing both trend-driven content to stay visible and separate passion projects that rarely find an audience. This dual approach doubles their workload without solving the underlying problem of discoverability. Platforms show little intention of reversing these trends. Their business models depend on maximizing engagement and ad revenue, not on facilitating open exploration or diverse discovery. The systems do exactly what they are designed to do, but in doing so, they have closed off the pathways that once allowed new voices to emerge and audiences to expand their horizons. As discovery becomes more constrained and creators struggle to reach even their own followers, the consequences extend beyond visibility. The structural changes in how content is found and consumed are now reshaping the economic realities for those who once relied on the promise of a stable, creator-driven middle class. The creator middle class disappears. A clear divide has emerged within the creator economy, and the middle class of content creators is rapidly disappearing. The group that once occupied the space between hobbyists and internet celebrities, those earning a modest but steady income from their work, has greatly diminished. Where it was once possible to earn a professional living through consistent, mid-level content, the landscape now pushes creators toward either breakout success or financial struggle. The polarization is stark. You either reach the upper tier or find yourself fighting for scraps, with little room left in between. The numbers reflect this shift. Middle-income creators, those earning between $50,000 and $150,000 annually, have become rare. Median earnings for mid-tier creators have fallen sharply since their peak in 2022. Someone who once made enough to cover living expenses and invest in their channel now faces declining payouts and rising costs. At the same time, the top 1% of creators continue to capture a growing share of total influencer income, leaving most others unable to keep pace. For the majority, the path to a sustainable career has narrowed to a sliver. Day-to-day financial pressures compound the problem. Many creators face unpredictable income, making it difficult to budget or plan for the future. As ad rates drop and sponsorships become harder to secure, creators find themselves working more hours for less reward. The volatility of platform payments, combined with the irregular arrival of brand deals, means that even those who once felt secure now struggle to make ends meet. The upward pressure on living expenses only deepens the challenge. Benefits that would be standard in traditional employment are largely absent. Access to healthcare is limited, with only a small share of full-time creators able to afford employer-sponsored insurance or individual plans. Rising premiums and inconsistent income force many to go without, leaving them exposed to significant financial risk in the event of illness or injury. Retirement savings are also an afterthought for most. Nearly 9 in 10 creators have no long-term plan or safety net, as income volatility makes it hard to set aside funds. The lack of employer contributions, combined with the uncertainty of creator earnings, means that few are able to build any real financial security over time. The average career span for creators has shortened considerably. Most now last just over 2 years before leaving the field, compared to nearly 5 years in 2020. The relentless demands of content production, combined with constant algorithm changes and the pressure to remain relevant, make it difficult to sustain a career for the long term. Burnout is common, and many who exit the industry do so without having built up savings or transferable skills. Platform policies have played a significant role in this decline. Revenue sharing and monetization tools increasingly favor creators with large, established followings, making it harder for mid-tier and smaller channels to access the same opportunities. Algorithm updates concentrate attention on top performers, reinforcing a cycle where success leads to more visibility and income, while everyone else falls further behind. The result is a feedback loop that accelerates the disappearance of the middle class. Brand partnerships have also shifted. Companies that once spread their budgets across a range of creators now focus on a handful of celebrity influencers or invest in large-scale campaigns. Mid-level creators report a steep drop in sponsorship opportunities, and those deals that remain often come with stricter terms and lower pay. Agencies and management firms, which now control a majority of brand deals, take larger commissions and impose additional barriers, further eroding the income available to individual creators. Financial burdens like taxes and insurance add to the strain. Without employer support, creators are responsible for managing self-employment taxes, quarterly payments, and the complexities of business deductions on their own. The administrative load can be overwhelming, especially for those without access to professional advice. Audits and compliance checks have become more frequent, increasing stress and risk for those already struggling to stay afloat. Attempts to adapt, such as increasing output, diversifying platforms, or chasing viral trends, often lead to burnout or further instability. The pressure to produce more content more often rarely results in sustainable growth. Instead, it accelerates exhaustion and can alienate loyal audiences. Those who try to organize for better terms or collective bargaining face subtle forms of suppression, as platforms quietly limit the reach of creators who seek to challenge the status quo. What remains is a creator economy that no longer supports a broad, stable middle class. The system increasingly rewards only the top performers, while the vast majority face an uphill battle for visibility and income. As these pressures intensify, the ability to access brand deals and secure meaningful support is shifting away from individuals and toward organizations with more power and resources. The new gatekeepers, agencies and managers. The landscape of influencer marketing has shifted, and agencies and managers now sit at the center of this new ecosystem. Their influence has grown steadily, and today, agencies control most brand partnerships in the creator economy. Brands increasingly rely on these intermediaries to manage campaigns and negotiate deals, preferring the efficiency and predictability that agencies provide over the uncertainty of working with individual creators. This consolidation has fundamentally changed how opportunities are distributed and who stands to benefit. Agency commissions and gatekeeping have worsened creator earnings over time. Standard commission rates have doubled in recent years, and it's not uncommon for agencies to take a substantial portion of every deal. The justification is often expanded services, contract negotiation, legal compliance, and campaign management, but these services are rarely optional. Many creators find themselves paying for packages they neither requested nor need. For some, agency involvement means losing control over their own business relationships, as agencies handle all communications and decision-making with brands. A growing number of agencies now require creators to pay for access to their brand networks. This pay-to-play model often involves monthly fees or retainers, creating a barrier for smaller or emerging creators who lack the financial resources to participate. Those who can't afford upfront costs are effectively shut out of premium opportunities, while established creators with agency connections gain further advantages. The system reinforces existing hierarchies, making it even harder for newcomers to break in. Agencies have also become more selective about whom they represent. Most now focus on creators with proven track records and sizable followings, leaving those just starting out with few options. This exclusivity creates a catch-22. To get agency representation, a creator must already have brand deal experience, but without agency support, landing those deals is nearly impossible. The result is a closed loop where access to sponsorships and growth is tightly controlled. Contract terms have grown more restrictive as agencies assert their influence. Many agreements now include clauses that limit a creator's ability to work independently or pursue outside opportunities. Right of first refusal provisions require creators to route all potential deals through the agency, while non-compete clauses can prevent them from working with certain brands altogether. These measures are designed to keep revenue streams within the agency's control, but they often limit creator flexibility and autonomy. The quality of agency representation varies widely. While some agencies deliver real value through expert negotiation and strategic guidance, others act primarily as middlemen, collecting commissions with little tangible support. Creators frequently report paying high fees for deals they source themselves, or being charged for services that never materialize. The lack of industry standards and oversight leaves many creators with little recourse when agencies fail to deliver on their promises. Agencies increasingly dictate not just business terms, but creative direction as well. Many require approval over content calendars, video topics, and even stylistic choices. This level of involvement can undermine the authenticity that once set creators apart from traditional advertising. The pressure to conform to agency-driven strategies often results in content that feels less personal and more formulaic, eroding the connection between creators and their audiences. Financial burdens extend beyond commissions and fees. Creators are often responsible for covering expenses like professional photography, promotional materials, and even staff salaries. These costs can add up quickly, reducing the net income from each deal. Some agencies deduct these expenses directly from creator payments, leaving creators with far less than anticipated after all costs are accounted for. Conflicts of interest are an ongoing concern. Agencies represent both creators and brands, and their incentives are not always aligned with those of the individuals they manage. There are cases where agencies steer brands toward creators who generate higher commissions, or pressure creators to accept lower rates to secure ongoing relationships with major advertisers. These practices can undermine trust and fairness in the system. Transparency remains an issue, especially with smaller agencies. Proprietary algorithms and opaque pay structures make it difficult for creators to verify the fairness of their compensation. Commission rates may increase for larger deals, and the rationale behind these changes is rarely disclosed. The lack of clear standards leaves many creators feeling powerless to challenge unfavorable terms. As agencies consolidate more power, competition diminishes and standardized, often unfavorable, terms become the norm. This professionalization of influencer marketing has brought new efficiencies, but it has also eroded creator independence and earning potential. Most platforms have done little to counter these trends, instead allowing agencies to dominate official partnership programs and access to premium features. The result is an environment where creators must choose between navigating the system alone or accepting significant trade-offs for representation. This concentration of control has significant implications for the future of the creator economy. The dynamics of agency gatekeeping shape who can succeed and under what conditions, setting the stage for a broader discussion about the distribution of value. As agencies and managers have consolidated their grip on the creator economy, another group has quietly emerged as the primary beneficiary: platform executives. The financial gap between those who build the tools and those who use them has never been wider. While creators face shrinking payouts, unpredictable revenue, and rising costs, executive pay has soared. The top 5 CEOs at major social media companies brought in a combined $2.3 billion in compensation last year alone. This kind of wealth accumulation stands in stark contrast to the reality for most creators, who are forced to adapt to falling ad rates and shifting platform rules just to stay afloat. The stock market tells the same story. Despite widespread reports of declining creator income and the collapse of the influencer middle class, the market capitalization of leading platforms has soared. Share prices reflect the confidence investors have in these companies' ability to extract value from the creator economy. Platforms have shifted costs onto creators, increased their share of advertising revenue, and focused on maximizing shareholder returns. All of this is achieved while the average creator keeps only about a third of the ad revenue their content generates, down from more than half just a few years ago. The rest is retained by the platforms, fueling record profits and ever larger executive bonuses. This isn't a side effect of growth, it's a result of deliberate design. Platforms have restructured the economics of content creation to ensure that the bulk of value flows upward. Business decisions that once prioritized creator partnerships and revenue sharing are now made with an eye to monetization efficiency and user value extraction. The language in quarterly earnings reports is clear. The priority is to increase revenue per user and reduce platform expenses, not to build a sustainable ecosystem for creators. Executive compensation is tied to these metrics, rewarding leaders for policies that further squeeze creator earnings and limit organic reach. The disparity extends beyond the C-suite. Vice presidents, directors, and department heads at major platforms now earn compensation packages that outstrip the annual income of all but the top 0.1% of creators. Internally, these companies offer generous benefits, job security, and advancement opportunities to employees, while the creators who supply the content are left to navigate a precarious market with little support. Paid sick leave, health insurance, and retirement plans are standard for platform staff, but remain out of reach for the vast majority of full-time creators. The platforms have also found new ways to monetize creators directly. Features that were once free, such as analytics dashboards, content boosting, and verification, now come with a price tag. These creator services produce high-margin revenue for the companies, often recouping development costs in a matter of days. For creators, the need to pay for visibility, data, or even basic recognition has become another cost of doing business, one that rarely comes with a guarantee of better outcomes. The imbalance is further reflected in how platforms allocate their resources. Budgets for creator support programs and educational initiatives have shrunk as a share of total revenue, even as executive compensation pools continue to grow. Regulatory filings in the EU and elsewhere confirm this trend. Companies are investing less in the long-term health of the creator ecosystem, while directing more to leadership and shareholder rewards. For most creators, the contrast is hard to ignore. A channel with hundreds of thousands of subscribers might barely clear $45,000 a year after expenses, while summer interns at the same company can earn nearly that much in a few months, complete with full benefits. This pay structure makes clear where platforms place their value, and it isn't with the people producing the content that drives their business. The systems that underpin the creator economy are built to funnel value upward. Platforms present themselves as neutral infrastructure, but in practice, they set the terms, control the audience, and collect the lion's share of the rewards. The handful of creators who break through to mass success are the exception, not the rule. Their stories are used to sustain the illusion that upward mobility is available to all. But the data shows that as creators' incomes fall, platform profits and executive pay continue to rise. This is the reality that shapes the creator economy today. The imbalance is not accidental, it is engineered. As platforms grow more profitable, creators are left with fewer resources and more risk. The question is no longer whether the system is fair, but how those who remain can adapt to survive in an environment that increasingly rewards only those at the very top.